Okay. Now, risk assessment and internal control. Risk assessment, risk assessment and internal control. Materiality of the risk assessment. Okay. Risk assessment and internal control. Risk assessment and internal control. Materiality and risk assessment. Content. Risk assessment. Assess the risk level in business process considering environment, regulatory structure. Management concerns focuses on areas with greater risk by identifying the assertions with material misstatements. Spectism, inappropriate, misapplied audit procedures, misinterpreted results, audit risk. Risk of giving an appropriate audit opinion on materiality, misstated financial statements. Okay. Risk assessment. Risk level in business process considering environment, regulatory structure, management concerns. Focus on area with greatest risk by identifying assertions with material misstatements. Spectism, inappropriate, misapplied audit procedure, misinterpreted results. Audit risk, risk of giving an appropriate audit opinion on materially misstated financial statements. Components of audit risk. Audit risk, risk of giving an inappropriate audit opinion on materiality misstated financial statements. Okay. So components of the audit risk: inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. What is the components of the audit risk? Component of the audit risk is inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Inherent risk means what? Susceptibility of the material misstatements without internal controls. Examples of technological changes: inventory, obsolescence, complex calculations, high value of inventory, uncertain estimates, violates industry. Control risk: risk that internal control will not prevent, detect, or correct material misstatements on time. Entity assess business risk and implement controls. Entity level controls, board oversight apply. Broadly, activity level control relate to specific assertions. Control risk always exists due to internal control limitations. Detection risk: risk that the auditor will not detect a material misstatements even when performing audit procedures. Auditors apply procedures to high risk areas. Consider non-sampling risk, inappropriate procedures, incorrect applications, misinterpretation of results. Relationship between components: audit risk, risk of material misstatement, and detection risk, risk of material misstatement, inherent risk, and control risk. Inherent risk and control risk combined level is inversely related to detection risk. Audit materiality is inversely related to audit risk. Mathematically, audit risk is equal inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk. Audit risk is equal inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk. Levels of assessment of risk of the material misstatements. Financial statement level: risk offsetting financial statements as a whole, potentially impacting many assertions, pervasive. Examples: incompetent top accountants affecting multiple financial statements areas. The second, Sir, 1 minute, sir. Sir, actually, in this case, provision itself very clear, sir. The moment aggregate turnover exceed 20 lakhs, you have to get registration. That too, entire turnover is regarding to exempted means okay. Since the commission is liable for GST, so then taxable and exempt both are providing. That too, you aggregate 20 cross, then you get registration. Then, whereas regarding to healthcare services, already it is covered under the exemption, you need not to pay tax on that. Whereas regarding to insurance commission, there is no any exemption on that, so you need to pay GST and commission charges. Whatever commission received on that, you need to pay IGST 18% to the government. So provision itself very clear. Then I think no need to refer any case laws also. See RCM, if you go clearly in 9.3, there is no any part regarding to insurance. All are I have not seen. I'm not finding insurance part transaction available in 9.3. 9.3 there is no regarding insurance. There are different transactions regarding even imports and director security and the next royal, that is what is that, royalty is receiving on books, no, that, and security lending, all the stuff. But I am not find RCM in 9.3, sir. So provision itself very clear, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Do you want to talk anything more, sir? So whether commission first, a registered person under GST composition scheme has paid commission to a hospital for referring patients. A registered person GST composition scheme has paid. Okay, irrespective whoever paid to us, then we need to see our part. The receiving amount is liable to GST or not. So it is not covered under the RCM. Correct. Next, you asked the question whether the hospital is liable to be registered under GST if its aggregate receipts, including commission income, exceed 20 lakhs. Absolutely. Yeah, because for the registration purpose, always you need to look aggregate turnover. Definitely, if you have a cross at 20 lakhs, you need to get registration. No need any case law, sir. Provision itself very clear, 200%. Sir, case law, sir. No, no, sir. Wherever provision itself very clear, no, no need any. Huh? See, commission income is taxable on case law is there. That case law is Medi Division Scan and Diagnostic Research Center Private Limited. That is, it is not. It is advanced ruling. Okay, sir. Okay, bye, sir. Sir, that appeal is filed, sir. Okay, okay. What, sir? Not yet filed, sir. Uh, sir, appeal not yet filed. That's what you're telling, sir. Appeal filed. Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. From okay, from September 16 onwards, I am full free, sir. If you want anything, you let me know, sir. I will work for you, and then we'll work together, sir. Yeah, till September, I have some other exams now preparing, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
we think about superpower, the first ones that comes to our mind are America, the European Union, and China. But here is another country in the world which is moving very fast towards becoming a global superpower. This is India, the fastest growing.
Levels of assessment risk of the material misstatements. Financial statement level, risk affecting financial statement as a whole, potentially impacting many assertions pervasive. Example, incompetent top accountant affecting multiple financial statement areas. Assertion level, risk identified at the specific assertion level for transactions, account balances, or disclosures. Each assertion, valuation completeness, individual assessed for risk. Different types of assertions, different types of assertions, different types of assertions by management. Assertions related to class of transactions and events. Occurrence, transaction occurred and relate to the entity. Completeness, all time and extent, all transactions and events should have been recorded or re-recorded. Accuracy, so so assertions related to class of transactions and events. The transactions event occurred and relate to the entity. Completeness, all transactions and events that should have been recorded or recorded. Accuracy, timing and events recorded appropriately with correct amounts. Cutoff, transactions and events recorded in the correct accounting period. Classification, timing and events recorded in the proper accounts. Assertions related to account balances. Existency, assets, liabilities, and equity interest exit. Rights and obligations, entity hold rights to assets, liabilities, or its obligations. Completeness, all assets, liabilities, and equity balances are recorded. Valuation and allocation, balances recorded at appropriate amounts with correct valuations and adjustments. Assertions related to presentation and disclosure, occurrence and rights, disclosed transaction, disclosed transaction and events occurred and relate to entity, completeness, all required disclosures included, classification and understandability, financial information appropriately presented, described, and clearly expressed, accuracy and valuation, disclosed items fair and at appropriate amounts, steps involved in risk identification, steps involved for identification of risk, assess significance of the risk relevant materiality for a specific account, determine likelihood and impact of an audit, document affected assertions, consider impact in each assertion, completeness, existency, accuracy, validity, valuation, presentation. Identify significant risk requiring separate attention. Enquire and document management response to the risk. Consider nature and effectiveness of the internal control system. Routine designed to prevent, detect, correct errors. Manual and automated. Consider unique characteristics of the risk. Consider inherent risk in transactions, account balances, or disclosures, needing further audit procedures. Example, high value inventory. High value inventory. Indicators of possible potential misstatement. Completeness. Transaction not identified, source document not prepared, not captured, rejected document not represented. Existency. Fictitious, unauthorized transactions, overstated, duplicated sources of documents, invalid source documents captured, recording, inaccurate source of document capture, processing, or adjustments, cutoff, transactions recorded in wrong period, risk based audit approach. Risk based audit approach, analyzing audit risk, sets materiality, allocates more resources to high risk areas. Audit procedures focus on identified high risk areas essential in financial audit and audit of the financial statements, including internal control, focuses reducing impact, acceptable level, helps improve audit risk management and control process. Risk based audit approach in performance audit focuses on the risk to delivery of the activities with economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Audit risk analysis, meaning auditor performs audit risk analysis before a specific procedures. Risk assessment is subjective based on professional judgment. Audit risk. Audit risk is the possibility that the auditor fails to appropriately modify their opinion on misstated financial statements. Audit risk from error and fraud. Error and unintentional mistake, omission, inclusion of erroneous. Fraud, an international misstatement to deceiver or conceal misappropriations. Auditor responsibility, plan and perform audit to obtain reasonable assurance. Financial statements are free from material misstatements. Auditor responsibility, plan and perform audit to obtain reasonable assurance of the financial statements free from the material misstatements caused by error and fraud. Error risk may arise from issues in principal estimates, information processing, financial reporting, or disclosure. Fraud risk involves manipulation, falsification, misrepresentation in records, financial statements, misapplication of the accounting principles, misappropriation. Audit objective, obtain reasonable assurance that no material misstatements exist in the financial statements. General steps to in conducting risk based audit. Key steps: assessing the risk of the material misstatement in the financial statement, designing and performing further audit procedure to respond to assessed risk and reduce them to an acceptable level, issuing an appropriate audit report based on findings. Risk based audit process phases: risk assessment, risk response, reporting. Three distinct phases of risk based audit. The phase 1, risk assessment. Understand the client, identify risk, assess internal control, and perform procedures to accept continue client plan audit approach. RAP, risk assessment procedures to understand the business and identify inherent and control risk. Identify and assess design and implementation of the internal controls. Assess risk of the material misstatement at both at financial and statement level and assertion level. Identify significant risk, assess if substantive procedures alone are enough. Report any material weaknesses in internal control to management and to those charged with governance. Activity, purpose, documentation. Activity: perform acceptance or continuance procedures. Plan audit. Perform risk assessment procedures. Purposes: perform acceptance or continuance procedures. Decide whether to accept engagement. Listing of risk factors engagement letter, plan the audit, develop an overall audit approach, overall audit strategy, materiality, audit team discussion, perform the risk assessment procedure, understand the entity, identify the assessed risk material misstatements, business fraud risk, including significant risk, designing implementation of relevant internal control. Phase 2, risk responses. Auditor design and perform the procedure to respond to identified risk. Design audit procedures, plan and perform the procedure to address the assessed risk and gather sufficient evidence. Considerations for procedure, address assertions not handled by substantive procedures alone. Consider internal controls, reducing need for substantive procedures, use analytical procedures, include element of unpredictability, addresses fraud, risk management, override the controls, addresses significant risk of the mixing of tests of internal controls and substantive procedure. So, risk response activity, design further audit procedures, perform the further audit procedures, design further audit procedure. The purpose is develop an appropriate response to assessed risk. Documentation, update the overall strategy, a detailed audit plan, and the link assessed risk to further audit procedures. Perform the audit procedure, reduce the audit risk to an acceptable low level, work performed, audit findings, staff supervision, working paper review. Paper 3, reporting. Phase 3, reporting. Evaluate audit evidence from conclusions, issues, audit opinion. Determine standards on auditing and evidences obtained to reduce risk of the material misstatements to an acceptably low level. Check if the risk level is changed. Conclusions, appropriate suspicious circumstances exist. Report findings to management to those charged with governance. Issue the audit opinion. See, internal control systems, internal control environment, meaning policies, procedures by management for efficient business conduct, safeguard assets, and prevent fraud, ensures accuracy, completeness of records, timely financial statements, misunderstanding of the internal control systems, a crucial for assessing the risk and planning the audit procedures. Control environment. Auditor assess management attitudes and actions towards internal control systems. Overall audit plan, understanding the controls, SHOP's audit approach, audit evidence, auditor uses to those terms and conditions, TOC to gather evidence, control risk low, evidence for effective operations of the control. Consider how controls applied, consistency of application, personnel responsible. Deviation in controls. Deviation may occur Personal changes, volume, human errors. Auditor investigates cases and adjusts the procedures. Internal control throughout the period. Auditor checks consistent use, adjust procedures if controls broke down. Evaluation of the control effectiveness. Auditor evaluate the whether internal control systems functions as expected, modifies procedures if needed. Nature of internal control. Standards on auditing SA 315 defines definition. Internal control is a process designed by management to ensure reliable financial reporting operations, operational efficiency, safeguarding assets, and compliance. Nature of internal control. The internal control phases a system designed to support the business objectives and addressing the risk related operations and compliance financial reporting. So if you take scope of the internal control, the scope is internal control goes beyond accounting, includes administrative controls, influencing the decisions, making production methods, pricing policies. Auditors focus in financial audit, focus on policies, procedures affecting financial statements, safeguarding assets, fraud detection, record accuracy, reliable information. Okay. Administrative controls less relevant to the financial records but may be evaluated if they affect the financial record liability. Integrated integration of the internal control. Integral to comply the activities not practiced isolated. Objective of internal control. Objective of the internal control. Management sets objectives based on business nature, scale, professionalism. Accounting system objectives. Transactions authorized recorded. Assets records. Safeguarded assets. Verified regularly. Control objectives. Ensure transactions are complete, valid, and accurate. If control objective of the internal control systems are not met, strong internal control permit limited test, weak control require more focused audit procedures. So basic objective of ensure all transactions are recorded, real, properly valued, recorded timely, properly posted, and properly classified and disclosed, properly summarized. So this must be compliant. So if you take elimination of the internal control, what steps to be followed? Cost benefit. Cost benefit trade off. Cost of control should not exceed benefits. Not targeting unusual transactions. Internal controls may not address unusual expectations of transactions. Human error. Mistakes due to carelessness, distraction, misjudgment, circumvention via collusion. Internal controls can be bypassed through collusion. Abuse of responsibility, a responsible person management may override. Management manipulation, management may manipulate transactions estimates or judgments in financial risk. The structure of the internal control is oh,
உள்ள சத்து உடம்புக்கு கிடைக்காது. அது அப்படியே முழுமையா கழிவுகளாக வெளியே போகும். சாப்பாடு உள்ள சத்து இந்த உடம்பு புரியாது. ஒழுங்கா செரிமானம் ஆகாது. ஒரு மக்கள் திரளும் இடத்துல
structure of the internal controls. Structure of the internal control, segregation of the duties, ensure no one personal handle all aspects of transactions, It minimize, detect fraud and error early. Segregate authorization, execution, custody of assets, record keeping. Avoiding excessive allocation of tasks. Avoiding excessive allocation of tasks. Periodically rotating tasks to detect fraud early and prevent vested interest. Authorization of transactions. Establish delegation of authority for transactions as per management guidelines. Achieved by independent comparison of transaction document with general specific authorization. Adequacy of records and documents. Ensure transactions are properly recorded, classified, and safeguard assets. Maintain proper documentation for audit, protect assets records from unauthorized access. Accountability and safeguarding of the assets. Accountability from acquisition to disposal, frequent physical checks, and reconciliation required. Authorized personnel access only. Authorized personnel should assess, handle assets. Physical custody and document processing control crucial. Independent checks. Regular checks independent staff internal control existency to verify the control procedure to affect the procedure effectiveness. And components of the internal controls are control environment, risk assessment process, information system, control activities, monitoring the controls. These are the components of the internal control. Understand, friends? If anybody have a doubt what I'm talking, reading, you can call back me. My mobile number is 9677205265. 9677205265. That's what. What are the meant by components of internal control? Tell me please again. Tell me friends. Control environment, risk assessment, information system, control activity, monitoring internal control. These are the components of the control. Components of the internal control. Elements of the control environment includes governance management functions, attitudes, awareness, actions to those charged with governance. Management sets the tone, influencing the control consciousness. షో దేవుడా. ఫర్ ప్రెస్టేజ్ ఫర్ మారథాన్ ఫర్ సిఏ ఫైనల్ ఫర్ వన్ డే మారథాన్ సిఏ ఫైనల్ సిఏ ఫైనల్ ఫర్ వన్ డే మారథాన్.
यहाँ पे एक मैन निफ्टी और निफ्टी ट्रेडर है और क्रॉस से परेशान है, तो भी जो द प्रोफेशनल ट्रेड Yes, happy morning, people. So, welcome to the first session of CA Final Financial Reporting Marathon session. Okay, so before I dive into the topic, quickly I just tell you the summarize how we're going to be conducting this particular session. Okay, one. All right. So, how long will you do this marathon for? So, last time I think it went up till 30 hours. Around 6 hours per day for 5 days is what we had done last time. So I'm like planning to make it a little more crispier this time. May not be that much. Around 25, 26 hours per minimum I feel is required. Okay, 5 days per day, 5 hours per day, 5 days. So around 25 hours is what planning. But sometimes here and there 10-15% can happen. Okay, so that is the overview of what we'll be doing. So daily we'll be starting the class at the same time. Okay, same 7:30 to 1:30. Maybe it will be 1:45 also sometime a little bit. Okay, so every day we'll have a certain topics to be covered. I'll tell you the topics to you upfront so that you can plan accordingly. If you want to revise that and come beforehand, that is also absolutely okay. So like that we can plan it up. Okay, so that is one thing. And the second one is, sir, I have never watched your lecture, sir. The first time I'm seeing you, sir. I'm not even touched my book, sir. I really want to see your marathon and I want to clear CA final FR exams. To complete the syllabus and fast track also it roughly take about 190 to 200 hours. So now in marathon.
సరే ఓకే, ఈ చాప్టర్ కంప్లీట్ చేసాం. Elements of the control environment including the governance, management functions, attitudes, awareness, actions to those charged with governance and management sets the tone, influencing the control, consciousness, communication, and enforcement integrity. Yes, bro.
You submitted my ID, right? Which
Yeah.
bank did you select?
Which bank you given, that only I selected.
Okay, which one? Bank of Baroda.
You open form that will be available there.
In form, it must be showing in Bank of Baroda.
Okay, Bank of Baroda will come. What will happen?
But yeah, but I sent you a screenshot. Did you check it? What screenshot I sent?
Okay. Hmm.
In that three green,
Yeah, Bank of Baroda only nominated for refund.
yeah, it's nominated. But
Uh,
you can see mobile number red mark over there. Why?
wow. That nowhere impact your refund. You may be given wrong mobile number. What will happen to the bank
No, no,
account?
I checked. Nothing happened. No?
That's nothing will happen, dear. You
Okay,
whatever you
okay.
given account, it will credit to your bank account. Pakka.
Why it's taking so long, sir, for refund?
Sir,
Almost
across the country like you only, sir. What is how much your refund?
1 lakh, one plus
Uh,
1.10
above
crores.
1 lakh and all it is happening. Okay, once you got
No,
refund, once you got refund, you kindly remember me. Given 1500 only, no?
are your money not running anyway, sir? First let money come in account.
Definitely will come, dear. Definitely will come.
My friend also, Ashok applied till now, it's not come 3 months for it.
Abba, above 1 lakh, it's taking time, brother. Not only, see, you check others also. Somebody there, if below 1 lakh,
Others,
uh,
other contractor,
uh,
others normal salaried employees. For them, they got
they got it, huh?
my friend got above 1 lakh.
Sir, okay.
I
What can I
asked
can
him,
I raise complaint? You raise complaint.
are you raise complaint also? They will say wait for 90 days.
Sir, okay. What I can do? Tell me.
Then what you want me to do now?
You wait there till government give money. What I can do? We can do raise complaint only. Apart from that, what we will do? Tell me. Right
We'll
now,
revise return we can file.
revise written now. Why you want revise written?
No, no,
Why?
I'm asking.
If you have any mistakes, then you file revise written. What mistakes you have? Tell me.
Yeah, correct. Okay, then. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Entity risk assessment process. Auditor understanding risk process, understand business risk relevant to financial risk, estimates significance, assess likelihood of occurrence, decides how to address the risk. Role of risk assessment process helps identify, manage risk, assist auditor in detecting material misstatements, judgment required to assess appropriateness of the process. Factors that can affect are change risk, change in operating environment, new personnel, new information system, rapid growth, new technology, new business models, corporate restructuring, expanded foreign operations, new accounting pronouncements, new accounting pronouncements, control activities, performance reviews, comparing actual performance with budgets, forecast, previous periods, investigating discrepancies, comparing internal external data, reviewing functional performance, information processing, general IT controls, ensure system security and functionality of many applications. Example, program change control, access restrictions, application control, accuracy of the individual application, data, edit checks, physical control, physical security over assets, secured facilities, authorization for access to data and programs, periodic counting and comparison with accounting records. Example, cash or inventory. Segregation of duties, different people authorize, record and manage assets to reduce the fraud. Prevents a person from committing and concealing errors or fraud. High level authorizations for major acquisitions. Information system and related business processes. Information system, infrastructure, physical hardware, software, people, procedures, data. Financial reporting system includes methods, records that identify record valid transactions, describe details, measure value, record timing, present properly in financial statements. Quality of system generated information affects management ability to make decision and reliability of the financial reports. Communication of the policies include policy manual, accounting and financial reporting manuals, memoranda, electronic oral communication, management actions. Monitoring of the controls. Objective of the monitoring controls. Management to monitor control to ensure they operate intended and adjust the and as needed. Ensure control remain effective. Ensure control remain effective. Activities involved in management, in monitoring, management review, bank reconciliation, internal auditor checking, compliance, legal department overseeing policies, using external communication for problems, mentoring of entity internal control systems. Internal auditor evaluate control effectiveness, report strengths, weaknesses, and recommendations. Objectives and considerations of the internal check system. Concept and meaning of the internal check. Organizing duties so no one person handles all aspects of the transactions. A built-in control. Sir, namaste, sir. If you give, I'll file income tax return, sir. But next month I'm not available. September 1 to September 16, I'm not available. That is the reason I'm worrying and calling you. Another 2 days, huh? Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Take your time. Bro, you will do income tax returns? Income tax returns. I will. What? Yo, you said your company secretary is studying. Then, sir, okay, I will guide you. You do, okay? See, Lavara sir, I know him very well. Okay, leave it. Now, what I'm telling you, as and when I got the work, I'll give you. You just log in the data, just fill the data. Rest of things I'll take care of. Just you need filling the data, okay? Just you need filling the data. You just keep in touch with me. How long will be available? Not today, ba. 1 month or 2 months, 3 months. Okay. Okay. So, okay, keep with me. I'll give work. Huh? You have a laptop, right? Then how will you work? You need to laptop, no. Buy bro. Buy laptop, bro. Ask your parent to buy. Huh? No money, yeah. Yo, every now education system changed. The last student without laptop, what will you do? What's your father? What do you do? Ah, it's a medical shop. Sir, you work first. We learn money now. I'll also give some money. If you really work, if your work is useful to me, then I'll pay money. If work is not useful, I can't. If you work for me, no, no. You work for me, I'll give something. No issue.
work with money only. It's a benefit, sir. Otherwise, how come, sir? Correct, sir. I
But what?
understand. Yes, sir.
Don't worry, you keep work for me. I'll pay something, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So keep in touch me today onwards. As and
Okay,
when
sir.
I got work, I'll forward you.
Okay, sir. I will just save. I will save your number and thanks, sir.
You will save my number.
Okay,
I'll
sir.
keep forward your work.
Okay, sir. Where is your house, sir?
My office is in Manapakam.
Manapakam. Okay, okay. Do you have? I will come. If you come, we will meet, sir, one day. Sure, sir.
Where are you? How will you come? Where are
Sir,
you?
I am Kolattur, sir. Just I will take some bus and come.
Yeah, Palatura. Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Don't worry, sir. I will come.
Okay.
Near Manapakam also. Manapakam video.
Gindi, Gindi.
Gindi, yes, sir. Near that Nannalur only my sister's house is there.
Sir, okay, bro. Take care. We'll work together. Okay, na?
Okay, sir. Don't worry, sir.
Bye, bro.
I will do my best, sir.
But this season is income tax return for us. So you need to work on income tax returns.
YouTube, sir. Don't worry, sir.
See, I'll give you income tax return. You need to fill them and provide me. By end, I'll submit. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Okay, bro.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
దేవుడా.
The person you're calling is not answering. Please try later. நீங்கள் அழைத்திருக்கும் நபரால் தற்போது உங்களுக்கு பதிலளிக்க இயலவில்லை. தயவு செய்து பின்னர் முயற்சி செய்யவும். आप जिस व्यक्ति को कॉल कर रहे हैं वो उत्तर नहीं दे रहा है. कृपया कुछ समय पश्चात प्रयास करें.
Okay.